So I bought the URL a while ago. The URL I bought is initiate.me.
That's a good one.
It's a great one. Yeah.
I mean,
correct.
You could do a lot of things with that.
I could do a lot of things with it. I know. Because
do you even know, or are you just like, that's a good name?
Oh no, I've been doing this game. Yeah, I've been doing this long enough that I absolutely have a plan.
Sorry, of course you do.
Well, I have a plan, but to your point, do I have a meticulous plan? No. I just was like, initiate.me. Yeah, makes sense to me. And it's funny because if you go into YouTube and you type in the word like initiation or male initiation, there are no dedicated YouTube channels to male initiation. Not one.
I wonder why that is.
It's great. It's because initiation is in the 2.5%.
Oh, okay. So we're early adopters.
We are early adopters, correct. The way I look at it is that the existentialist movement shows up every 40 years.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's at least I believe that it does generationally. So like you got Nietzsche and Dostoevsky who show up and they die in the 1900s. And then you got Jung who revitalizes everything in the 1940s, right? What happened in 1980?
Ronald Reagan.
Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Star
yeah.
Wars.
Taoism.
Star Wars.
Taoism.
Star Wars. And Joseph Campbell writing the hero's journey and then ending it with his translation of the Upanishads, actually. And so George Lucas gets a hold of it, writes Star Wars. And so for the next 40 years, what we have are endless streams of the hero's journey and the existentialist journey all through that. Now here we are in 2020 and we're just dying for the next Fight Club, the next Matrix, the next whatever. And so the Jordan Peterson thing was that spark for male initiation, the hero's journey to kind of take place again. And then that's kind of where I see that we're at. So pretty much everything I'm doing right now is kind of like, well, how do we capture this? I don't think that Jordan Peterson hasn't done the capturing.
I think if Jordan Peterson wasn't Jordan Peterson, somebody else would have been.
Joe Rogan would have been.
Sure. It's like there is sort of like this archetypal slot, and it's like who's going to step up and play the role of the thing that.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, and this has always been, in my opinion, the kind of the question, which is, well, Jung hated groups, right? You know.
Did he?
He did, generally speaking.
Except for AA.
Except for AA, which is interesting to me. But it's actually in the AA book, the first thing they say is Jung hates groups, which is why the fact that he liked AA is so interesting. That's like how they start the book.
Cool.
So my big concern has been, okay, well, you got this big movement, but how are you going to capture it? Who's going to be that guy in 15 years?
But don't we have to wait another 40?
Not if somebody captures it and puts it into a box and gets it in a movement and actually like encapsulates it. Right.
Yeah.
So the whole like Jung archetype bit, that was really pushed out in the late 80s, early 90s by a group that are now called the Mankind Project.
Never heard of them.
And the guy who founded his name is Robert Moore, and his business partner was a guy named Bly, the other guy, another guy named Douglas Gillette. So Robert Moore was the head of the Jungian Society for 20 years. And he wrote all these books called, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, all that stuff. But
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Iron John is the best book on male initiation ever written, in my opinion, by a country mile. So that's the question right now is can you build groups? Can men gather together in groups and have it not, degenerate into jargonized whininess? How do you organize an actual group of volunteer masculine power where we all submit to one another in love? And what goal are we uniting behind? What banner, what symbol are we trying to push to the next generation?
That sounds very difficult. I think a lot of groups like that do end up failing because of politics and just bullshit in general.
Is there an enemy that men could get behind to actually have a value that is more important than politics, more important than jargon? Is there a coming revolution for the masculine soul?
I hope so. I hope so.
My question is did Jordan Peterson start a revolution for the masculine soul? And if so, nobody fought that war during all of COVID because he was gone. And the woke movement just did what the woke movement does.
Last manning about.
It went about doing what the devouring mother does. The devouring mother seeks to put everybody to sleep in her unconscious Ouroboros.
Yes, that's true. I think maybe a lot of people are starting to realize that you can't really fight that thing head on. It's best to just ignore it and then do your own thing.
Well, that's the male archetype in terms of how it's supposed to work. That, at least that's how I see it. The female consciousness kind of spins around and creates this loving, safe culture for babies and stuff like that. And then the male consciousness actually goes and actually splits off, and it pursues the North Star, right? Go out and see what's in the universe, exploration, because it splits off from the Ouroboros dragon eating its tail piece.
Right. And currently the devouring mother is saying none of that exists at all.
Yeah, it's saying, look, you don't need to worry about the North Star. We've got you. You don't need to worry about pursuing God. We have the internet. You don't need to worry about individuating because everybody is the same. We're all equal. It's all fine. You don't need to pursue. There's nothing left to explore. Just eat your Netflix or eat your popcorn and watch your Netflix and chill. It's all going to be fine. You're going to upload your consciousness into the cloud anyways because of crypto. Oh, no. So don't worry about it. Never experience pain again.
Crawl into my mouth. It's warm.
It's
and
warm.
Comfortable.
And it's dark.
My saliva, it has an anesthetic quality to it.
Yeah. I'll take the broken leg. I'll take disease. I'll take whatever it takes to experience my humanity